Hello, everybody, and welcome to Rise of the Podcast. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Kara.
I'm sitting much taller than I used to be.
We can actually see your face.
And I'm Brownie. And I started the count in and I forgot to hit record, so I hit record.
I saw you click record last second. I was like, yes.
I have a buttload of stories. These are pink shorts, and Kara's like, just white's a safe color to go with it. So I picked a white shirt. I get all the way dressed. She's like, you can't wear that out. So then I had to go find this blue shirt. It's just a mess.
Chris, it wasn't even a Star Wars shirt. I was expecting him just to get like a white Star Wars shirt, whatever. Mm-hmm. Nope, it's button up, but it's got a bunch of print all over it, and the print on the shirt clashed with the shorts and the print on the shorts. It was
Don't
just too
say
much.
white's a safe color if it's not a safe color.
I was expecting you to go for like your Appa t-shirt or something like that, not a button up with palm trees all over it.
You said white. That was the only thing I could see that was white. All my laundry is just destroyed.
No, it's not. I did all the laundry today.
Dang. There's Jeremy, Kara. Rise of the Pies. Then, just like whenever things aren't going your way, I spilt my drink all over BB-8. My shoe is wet.
What shoe?
Yeah, I know. These things that normally aren't shoes to people.
Jeremy's shoes, as Derek would say, are clapped out.
They are. The heel is worn all the way through.
It's like a millimeter of material between Jeremy's foot.
I don't know if you can see the.
We can see
the wretchedness. Yeah.
They're wretched. They're pretty wretched.
It's pretty bad.
Oh, and it's hot. And so we were supposed to have our new building by now. But
not that we would have been in there this week.
No. But the title work didn't get done. I don't even know what that means.
And the appraisal came in late.
Okay, well, didn't they say the people selling it, didn't they say this was all feeling very rushed and very fast and stuff? And we've been doing this for a few months now.
I don't recall them saying that.
I thought you
the
mentioned.
sellers didn't say
it wasn't
it's
the
just,
sellers.
I think I don't know if it was our realtor or who, but people had said, "Oh, this is a fast closing," and it's like, well,
it doesn't feel that fast to me.
No, seriously, how long ago did we put the offer in?
It was the Tuesday before Memorial Day.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Gabe says Jeremy needs the classy dad outfit, white shirt, denim shorts, and New Balance shoes.
No.
Okay,
You know what's
all right.
funny about that?
No.
So my sister's having her baby shower this weekend, one of two baby showers this weekend. And so she's down in Shakopee, which is where her husband is from.
Yep.
And he's doing, apparently there's a dad version of a baby shower.
Yes.
And
They're gonna make him eat baby food.
I don't know.
Good.
But I can't remember what it's called. It's whatever. I got put on the group chat. I was like, I live with them. I'll just give them the crap at home.
Right.
Anyway, in this group chat that I was forcefully entered into, they were talking about how everyone's got to wear their white shirt, denim shorts, and New Balance shoes.
Oh, funny. The dad
outfit.
And it has to be the crew cut socks. Like, it's got to be the tall white socks, you know.
My calves are too big for those type of socks. I have to wear the low cut socks.
I also just want to say hello, Gabe. It was very nice to see you.
Yeah,
He finally made. He was here like 2 seconds before we started the podcast. Now he's at home.
Yeah, right. But Dude Dad or one of those type of people, they did.
It was Dude Dad.
They threw the dad party. So it was a dad themed party where everyone had to dress up like a dad. So somebody stuck up a camera and then they had the door open and they had just all these dad walks in, and some of the funny quips were a dad walks in and he's like, "Where's the thermostat?" And then
that's not
another
like a
one.
Dude Dad
and
video.
the last dad that walks in, "Who left the door open? Were you born in a barn?" And it's like, it was so funny to see them all like,
Yep.
Oh, then it cuts to the deck out back and everyone is standing up in front of their respective chair, and then simultaneously as they all sit down, they all go, "Ugh," as they sit down and grunt, it was super funny to see it.
I thought you were going to say they were all standing in line to operate the grill or something.
No, yeah, they were just like
Right.
synchronized grunting because, and I grunt when I sit down. But
When I stand up, if
quick
I'm on
tangent,
the floor.
Kara.
What?
You learn something, and I was really shocked at the way my coworkers viewed me today. Can you do me a favor and go to Urban Dictionary and look up the definition for Jeremy and read it to everybody? Because they said it was me to a T, and I don't agree with it, not even 1%.
And
I'm a little sad.
Because you don't want to be pigeonholed.
No, get this. They says that Jeremy's extremely sarcastic. I am not a sarcastic human being.
I'm not a sarcastic human being.
I know, right? So
You're incredibly sarcastic.
So here's what it says. Jeremy is one of the most sarcastic people you'll ever meet.
Yep.
He's sensitive at times and a total dick at others.
A total Richard.
Yep.
You'll never know how he feels toward you. He's impossible to figure out and it will drive you crazy. He's hilarious without trying and doesn't know it. He's got his pulse in the heartbeat of the internet, guys.
You're being hilarious without trying right now.
No, this is not me.
But he's a good
It is. You're being
guy.
a Richard right now.
No.
But he's a good guy, so you better hold on to him.
It's the more this is you. I'm just
Well, no,
saying.
but they said you don't. Everybody knows how I feel about him. I like everybody.
No,
I think you probably secretly hate everybody, and you're just putting on.
No.
You do.
Swanky
I know how
says
you
that
feel.
is so you with about 36 exclamation
Who said that?
points, Swanky.
All right,
Of course,
hold
Swanky
on,
would
let's
say
look.
that.
Let's look up.
Swanky, I don't know how I feel
Should I
about
look up
him.
Chris or Christopher?
No, hold on.
should do
There's more to
Brownie.
unpack here. There's a lot more to unpack.
Here's the final couple sentences. Shh. He's a good guy, so you better hold on to him. He'll come around eventually.
Yeah, you'll come around eventually, Jeremy.
Okay, all right.
You do go down the wrong path and eventually have to come around.
Okay, Brad is sarcastic. He is sarcastic human being. I'm not sarcastic.
I mean, you make a lot of jokes.
Yeah, but
What, you've never once said anything genuine about work that isn't sarcastic.
but the other thing is, my coworkers know how I feel about him.
Yeah.
But it's like,
I don't know how you feel about me. I'm still trying to figure out if we're friends or not.
You were worried about that one thing I forgot about years ago. You're like,
the shampoo.
Yeah.
The old shampoo debacle of 2007.
you're like, oh man, I don't know if Jeremy's forgiven me yet. Hard to read? I'm not hard to read. What do you?
I think you look hungry right now. Are you hungry?
Well, I picked up carrot dinner, but not myself, and then
You know what he told me?
I got
said,
stuff done.
okay. On the way here, I was like, oh, Jeremy, where are we stopping for dinner? He's like, I filled up on Cheez-Its at home.
There's no such thing as filling up on cheese.
well, would you have as many as I do?
How many boxes did you
Yeah, a lot. It's bad. I stress eat. I came home and I'm just like, womp womp womp.
So instead of running for your PT test, you ate a box of Cheez-Its.
Oh, somebody
You're so hard to read, Jeremy.
Somebody did that to me today. So we have this new guy. He's absolutely awesome. He's a farmer. He just comes up for drill.
Does he know that you think he's awesome?
I think he hope he does. And so you know how it takes a while for people to crack jokes around you and be comfortable or whatever?
Yeah.
So Brett,
well, especially you, because you're so hard to read.
Brett assigned him this job that was supposed to take like 6 hours. He got it done in 2.5 hours. He completely waxed, scrubbed, and buffered all the floors in the entire office.
Who did that?
It's Trevor, the new guy.
Oh, new guy.
And
There's
so-
actually a new guy you like?
Yeah, because he's
So
really
you know
cool.
what Trev just did? He
What?
ruined that job for everybody else. Now if you don't get it done in 2.5 hours, he'll be like, well, this
Like,
guy
Trevor
that's
did it.
pulling radishes on the weekdays came in here and did it in 2.5 hours. And you're sitting there pulling crap out your pocket instead of doing your job.
So he goes down to tech
That's
school.
what I imagine your boss sounds like.
He goes down to school for
Can you imagine if Brett sounded like
right?
that?
8
Yo,
weeks.
Nancy, stop cold brooking. I'm not paying you to sit around on your buttons. Get back.
So he leaves for tech school next week for like 8 weeks. Or
Oh,
whatever.
so he's like brand new.
He's like brand new, but he's been to basic training. He was in the Marines, and so
He decided he wanted an easy job.
he had to take his PT test today.
Uh-huh.
So he came back up and they've redone the PT test, and so there was four categories: push-ups, sit-ups, run, and then they would measure your waist. And if you're over 35 inches around your waist, you start losing points for every inch you're over 35 inches. And so I'm not kidding. I was like, oh, I'm not looking forward to the PT test. And he's like, he looked at me and he said, well, at least the waist measurement came off. And then he looks down at my belly. I was like, oh my gosh, dude. And then somebody
he just
else
destroyed
yeah,
you.
and he's like, Kyle came over and patted it. He's like, yep, that's our Jer. And it's like, you know,
Just a dad bod.
just a dad bod. But yeah, it was like,
Can you suck in while they're doing it?
yeah, of course I can, and I do. And I have for the past so many every years. But I like prep
What's
it.
your record, like 26?
No, I mean 29 I think is as like small as I've gotten it.
Okay, when we got married, I think I was a 25-inch waist. I was tiny.
I think I had a 25-inch waist when I was in like 5th grade.
I was so tiny. I look back at pictures and I'm like, oh.
But if you're gonna sell it,
I
you gotta
miss
like
that bod.
you gotta like walk in with it like like hold it already, so
It's
that way
like-
they don't see.
It's
you,
walking
like-
around like this. Like,
Yep,
"Hey,
yep.
What's
Okay,
going on?
but
I'm all chest."
don't you guys like? I know Andy has measured you in the past.
No, there's 3 people measure you, and they average
Oh.
the. Some people pull it like they're trying to cut you in half. Some people pull it so daintily, like it's just flopping around, and they easily add an extra 2.5 inches to your measurement.
Hey, well, those are the type of guys you want for other measurements.
So because of like the discrepancies between measuring, you go 1, 2, and then 3, and then they average that together, and then that's your score. But if any measurement is off by like 1.5 inches or something, they have to redo all 3. So there's an overall plus or minus that the scores can be. But this is all gone. This whole system is out the window.
I'm glad that we understand it so thoroughly now.
Yeah, I know. It was,
Swanky
yeah.
says, "I've never sucked in my gut. I take pride in my belly."
Well, like, Swanky used to be in the military, or still is? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe he's just so cut that he's like his
Yeah, that's
six-pack
what I'm
can't
wondering.
get pulled in any further.
Right. Not up here in the Air Force, that's for sure. So anyways, I was flabbergasted about when they read it. And everybody in the whole entire room is all like laughing and giggling. They're like, "That's Jer! That's Jer!"
No, it absolutely
That
is.
is not
Don't
me.
even pretend like it isn't.
Parts are, parts aren't.
Thanks, Kara.
You're welcome.
So the parts that aren't are the parts they didn't list.
All right, who do you want to do next? Do you want to do somebody
Let's
else?
do Kara next.
You want to do Kara next?
Yeah, but Jeremy has to read it.
Oops. No,
Hand it over. You can't read it.
I'm not, it's this gonna be the top one.
No. Let's do this.
Swanky says he's not cut up.
Oh, come on.
Ab
It's gotta
picture
be
didn't
the
happen.
Come on.
We're reading the top result.
This was written by a Kara.
I clearly was. This is a Fire Nation for life.
No, a Kara is a very kind-hearted girl.
Oh,
She is
Well, this is wrong already.
She is very shy and sensitive, and overall, in all caps, adorable. She will be right there whenever you need a hug or a laugh or someone to talk to. She's usually busy, but when she has time to spend with you, she makes it count. Ha! She may be short. That already disproves it. But she is very strong and amazing. friend.
May be short, but probably is tall. I think is how
There you go, there you go.
that's how the sentence is supposed to finish.
If you have a Kara in your life, never, ever let her go. She is
so
a very funny and great actor.
Hey, she's appeared in local television.
I have.
And then they even use it in a sentence, and it doesn't help you define Kara at all. My best friend is Kara. That's it used in a sentence.
Well,
And then-
isn't that sentence true for you, Jeremy?
And then the next part is, oh my gosh, lucky.
Well, I need to look at
All right, hold on. I gotta read Chris's.
What do you want her to actually look up now?
She should look up Brownie. This information is coming from Urban Dictionary, Swaggy, so you know it's a reputable source. It's about as reliable as Star Wars links.
I think, so then they started looking up some other people, and I think
Do you want me to look up 8R0W?
it will know, because then
if that has a
13?
result, I will own whatever that is.
a troll on the internet who
8
kicks people's butts at magic.
Yeah.
0WN13.
Brownie might have a completely different
Sorry, we
connotation on
couldn't
this
find
website.
it.
Yeah, see, I'm undefinable, guys.
All right, Brownie. A dessert that consists of melted chocolate bars, cocoa powder, sugar, eggs, salt, baking soda, baking powder, and butter or margarine.
Yep.
Mary, that dessert looks delicious. Yeah, I'm eating a brownie. Can I have some? Sure, Katie.
See, Urban Dictionary's right on. I'm full of all those ingredients.
The second one, brownie. What people hide wheat inside.
That's less accurate.
Here we go. Something that's very cool, hip, or awesome. We want brownies anytime, any place, anywhere. So if it's that awesome, it must be brownie.
Yeah, there we go.
That's number 3,
you
though.
can try Chris or Christopher if you
All right,
want.
let's do Chris.
I gotta reply to Swanky real quick.
Which do you prefer, Chris or Christopher?
Well, I prefer Brownie, but I guess let's go Christopher because that's my full given name.
Okay.
Since you guys did your full given names.
Oh, it's a long one. Okay.
Of course.
Christopher is an amazing guy. Usually tall, very handsome and pale.
I am pale. I got that part right.
Christophers have a very great sense of style. They also have a smile that is to die for. Very talented and passionate about what he does.
Talented and passionate, check.
He's
What do you say you don't have style as I'm wearing black sweatpants and an orange polo shirt?
Oh, let's see. he strives and doesn't give up. Though he can look mad all the time.
I am mad all the time.
Well, it says you aren't, so.
Well, I just want the world to think I am.
Can be kind of awkward and shy, but in a really cute way. Not the type of guy that always has a different girl. Christopher's usually get to know one girl and then date her for a long period of time. They prefer a long, solid relationship. They have really big hearts but keep their feelings to themselves because they're afraid of getting hurt. It is really easy to open up and talk to a Christopher. They are so sweet and inviting. But on the other hand, they can be very seductive.
Whoa.
Yeah, look out, Jeremy.
You might think they're so innocent, but they're not.
That's true. I've committed many crimes.
Oh my gosh. Once they're
Like
in the
driving home
mood,
from work,
it's on. But they're good with sexual pleasing, so let them do their thing.
Just sit back and relax, ladies.
You'll be
I got this under control.
No doubt. Let them kiss you and be with you. There's nothing better than being loved by a Christopher.
Why does Chris get all this cool stuff and Jeremy's
It's
like
100% true.
it's like
Now here's a conversation between Stella and Lucy.
Ooh.
Stella, hey, remember Christopher? Lucy, from Summer? Yeah, what about him? Stella, he's my favorite.
doesn't define it at all.
No, I'm their favorite.
Oh man.
I think that proves definitively that all of these are 100% accurate.
No, so do you have? I'm sitting there at work, and it's so funny to see everyone, do this. Oh man, and just agree with it and laugh and chuckle and be serious. And it's like I am not sarcastic.
You are sarcastic. Everyone's sarcastic.
The only
Swanky
thing
looked up his name. And he says, "I'm awesome, dope, and fresh of the highest legitness."
I was gonna look it up, and I was like, wait a second, I don't actually know Swanky's name.
Gabe or Brad then, since Swanky did his.
Okay.
Oh, I need to know who Brad is.
Okay.
We might have gotten to know you through the internet, but now we're gonna get down to the real truth.
Oh right.
All right. Top definition for Brad. An amazing person who will always treat you great no matter what happens.
Yep.
Who will love you unconditionally, acts like a crazy little kid sometimes, and is the most loving and caring person in the world, and is great in bed.
Well, jeez.
Yeah, hey.
You didn't need to comment
Hey,
that.
Brad,
you
you
can
wanna
admit some things.
Hey, Brad, you want to go and hit up the town? We'll go destroy.
No kidding. Can't be stopped.
Ah, man. Okay. Gabe?
So Swanky says his real name is Garrett. Do you go by Garrett or Gary?
Oh.
Or Rhett, I guess, is another option.
Bet Garrett.
Or Gare, or...
Now, I'm just going to call you Swanky, though, because you're Swanky.
Yep. He's so swanky.
Okay, did you go with your top result, though, Swanky?
Are you actually
Brad
challenging?
says I've heard all that before. From every lady you've ever met, I'm sure.
Are you going to do Gabe?
Yeah, we'll do Gabe. Should I do Gabe? Yeah, okay, let's do Gabe. Gabriel or Gabe?
Well, his name's actually Gabriel.
Yeah, let's do the...
Okay, give a name.
And so Swanky says he goes Garrett, full name only.
There you go.
All right, Gabriel, a nice and funny boy that loves to joke
Oh,
around.
poor Gabe. He gets boy right off the bat.
But can be a nice and funny boy who loves to joke around, but can be mean. But is kind of good looking and trustworthy, and listens to your problems and will tell you things he wouldn't tell anyone else. And then the quote is, Gabriel is funny.
Well, he is funny.
I feel like that was somebody who's like, their name wasn't up there, but it was like a girlfriend who was looking for a Gabriel. So she just like, what do I think about Gabriel? And then she just like types in. I don't feel like that was given the...
He's mean when he's kicking your butt in
Yeah.
Star Wars Battlefront.
Right. Or Forza or whatever
Yeah.
other game people are getting their butts kicked in. So that was a pretty funny thing that happened at work, and I was just like, gave me a lot of perspective into the way my coworkers feel about me. I try to be the Rock. Oh, okay. So then
I think Dwayne Johnson is the Rock.
the Rock, right? So then Derek got gifted shirts. This is like Justin's One Saturday Morning shirt with like the handgun and like whatever.
Yeah.
So
are you ready to meet Jesus or whatever?
Derek was gifted a shirt that said, "I'm sorry if I offended you," and then in small fine print underneath, "You little weakling." We'll say or whatever. So it's like it's like a passive aggressive shirt. Okay. So I was like, Derek,
Classic
yeah,
Minnesota.
Wait. Is it a quote from Cobra Kai?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
'Cause
Anyways,
is it the term I'm thinking of? Not weakling, but
I don't know. I don't know.
okay,
I don't know
okay.
if it's a quote.
Okay.
It's like the current.
Is it a swear word?
Yeah, yes, I think it is. But anyway, so then Pat had a funny shirt, oddly enough. And Pat's shirt, he was too embarrassed to wear it. He wore it into work, but he was too embarrassed to wear it out.
What?
Pat's shirt said, "I'm only here because you broke something." And, you know, and that's
Nice.
kind of funny if you owe Pat, or if you
own Pat.
You know Pat. And then, so, because at work, and I've told this a million times, I said, all right, I need a shirt for work that says, "I'm only at your desk because you need a printer installed." Because today I installed a printer. I can't begin to tell you.
You need a T-shirt that says,
Just
"Have
go
you
to
tried
network
unplugging
devices.
Oh. Somebody did that to me.
it? Have you
Wyatt-
tried restarting it? You need a T-shirt that says
Wyatt, so we have these tablets, and then they're USB-C to 2 monitors, okay? And so sometimes the monitors will get, the resolution will get thrown off, and it'll downsize to like 720 something when it gets all stretched and weird. And so there's 2 ways you can fix it. A, restart your computer. B, unplug the USB-C and plug it back in. But because we have a card that goes in and you got to pin it, when you unplug it, it like logs you out. So it's just almost easier just to restart it, because who doesn't need a good restart every now and then? Just gets everything
Windows
fresh.
machines love to be restarted.
So I walk in there, and he goes, "Jeremy, my screen resolution's all jacked up. Can you help me fix it?" And my first response was, "Did you restart the computer?" And he looks at me and goes, "No, I didn't." And
Are
he
you saying you're
restarts
not
it.
sarcastic, Jeremy?
Never mind, I'm sarcastic. I concede on that one. But I was like, "Did you restart the computer?" But I was literal in person. I said, "Did you restart the computer?" "Well, no." And I'm like, "Try restarting it." That's literal, right? That's not sarcasm.
You're being unintentionally hilarious again.
Oh, so many problems can be fixed
You
by
need-
restarting the computer. It's a
When
joke on the
somebody
IT crowd because
approaches-
it works.
When somebody approaches your desk, you need like one of those little like fans they hand out at the cheap fans they hand out at conventions and stuff. That's like at a popsicle stick. And it needs to say, "Have you tried restarting it?" And when people approach your desk, you just need to, like, before they can even say a word.
What you should, the next evolution of that is you need to get a motion sensor and set it up so it only picks up the sweep as it's coming up to your desk, and then a monitor deploys, and it's recording of you being like, "Don't come any closer unless you've actually restarted your machine."
So it's also a
Yes.
joke, running joke that I've got a million crumbs around my desk. So why it
That's
was,
how you get ants, Jeremy.
You need a Roomba for your cubicle.
So Wyatt opened up a Nature Valley granola bar by, like, as he was walking down the little space between all the cubicles, and as soon as he opened it up, as soon as he cleared it, this side of it literally blasted granola crumbs into my area, and I was like, "This is why people think I'm a messy eater. It's you walking by opening your granola bar."
Now, was
drive-by granola.
Yes.
this your crumbs a problem before Wyatt started though?
Long before.
All right, so it's not Wyatt.
But
He's contributing to the problem.
He contributes to the problem. And people know about. People know they're supposed to stay away from me, especially while I'm in my cubicle. I need my personal space. No wonder why no one knows how I feel about
Oh
him.
my gosh, have you guys
Exactly.
seen? I saw this picture of a professor, and he installed a picture on his door that I think it looked like his door's open, and it looks like he's not there. Jeremy needs that for
That's
his cubicle.
hilarious.
Just have this screen like right in front of your cubicle and have it look like you're not there.
I wish I had that. I wish I would have that. But as soon as it
Just
didn't,
wear a ghillie suit, then never
as
see you.
soon as it,
a cubicle ghillie suit.
as soon as the empty cubicle doesn't install printers, they're gonna get suspicious about where I am at then. So anyways, okay, we're gonna tell, and this is a lesson to everybody. Here's a good chance to learn. Watch out who you're talking to and what you're saying, and here is why.
Instead of the people on the podcast
I know,
broadcasting
right?
it out to the universe.
Seriously.
Well, no, here we go. So they're hiring new people at the airbase. We'll leave it at that for a prestigious job. Okay.
Why am I not being considered?
Right. So the people that are doing the hiring planted one of their own in civilian clothes in the group. And so today, that person was wearing a uniform because it's like a multi-day selection process. So there's like a meet and greet with like lunch and everything, and then there's an actual interview board and everything like that. So this one of the hiring members was in civilian clothes, sitting there talking to all these guys, getting all of the juicy secrets. Because you think about it, now this is one of your own. You know, you're in civilian clothes. It's you versus that. You know, it's like it's it's everyone in the room versus like once you get hired.
Board, yeah.
But it's also like there's that camaraderie. Like if something happens to you, or there's if there's whatever's going on, you'd be like, can you believe they asked me to, if there was any
do a
hazing?
push-up?
Yeah, exactly, right. And so
it's like drop and give this 20.
Today, yep. Today they saw him in uniform though, and somebody pointed and screamed, "They planted a mole!" And then so everybody was sitting there like recounting, "What did I say to that guy? Oh no!" But then all of that is being monitored as well. Because it's like
that's hilarious.
So just let it be a lesson. You never know. Like if you go to get a job and there's a bunch of people in the waiting room, there could be a plant, and it could be part of the interview process. So take that into consideration.
Is sneaky.
It is sneaky. But I mean, it really weeds out. Because could you imagine be like, yeah, man, that guy's kind of a jerk or something. It's like.
See, that's the nice thing with dental. You're really the only person going in at any given time. There's not a group of you going in or anything.
Right. It's not like this position's open. Come all.
Right. You look on Indeed. You're like, oh, so and so's hiring. Cool.
Yeah, I was like, I bet you I could be a hygienist. Me.
Well, then I always read those life pro tips like, oh, apply for jobs that you don't meet all the requirements for. And then I just love to see somebody walk in who's not registered or licensed. And then,
I see on your resume you have no dental experience, no dental training. You don't have your license. Why are you here?
I'm a hands-on learner.
Oh, right.
I just like to get in there, get messy, make some mistakes, and figure it out.
Can you imagine the person just be gushing absolute blood just...
Swanky would not trust a dentist that was group hired. Okay, so now that we're a solid almost half hour into the thing, so a couple podcasts ago we did that bit where you try getting people to do the last comment, and then we probably completely forgot about it. So I have a new angle on this. As we're getting towards the end of the podcast, when we're doing the closeout, whoever posts a topic. The last one in before we go out, that's the topic we're going to kick off the next week. So, Swanky, you were the last person who commented before we went out. We have no idea what you said because it was literally like a microsecond before the end card came up.
Like, yep. Boom. Cut.
But I know that it was you.
Kara was trying to review it on her phone, and it wasn't working. And then Chris had to like freeze frame it on the computer really quick before this episode started. But Swanky... Congratulations, Wakey!
Yeah, you won the shot clock beating last second chat award.
Well, I really want to incorporate at the new space, like I said, something, whether it's on the screen with a more powerful computer or like a leaderboard or like a Top Gear-esque, something fun.
The cool board, we're just moving people's names around.
Yeah, yep.
Super uncool. Jeremy just off.
Right.
Occupies that side.
And then so a couple things I was going to tell you which I had told you, this is not a big deal to anybody on the face of the planet, but we're going to talk about it because we can. Carol, we get to run all of the wires under the floor. So like, it's going to be clean. It's going to be, it's going to look super nice. It's just, I'm so excited. I wish we would have closed by now, but soon.
I'm excited that I get to design the place. Make it look pretty.
I think there's input. Everybody gets. You're doing the aesthetics.
Yes. Aesthetics.
Okay.
You guys get to.
I am totally fine.
Yeah, you guys get the layout. I get the aesthetics. But the ones while you guys are figuring out the inside, I don't know if I've told you this. I'm doing wings on the side of the building.
Yeah, we're gonna do a thing for people to come and hang.
So
I definitely think while you're doing that, you should just put a Pokestop on the side.
I should.
Because then, there's no way that Niantic can turn down the idea of an actual Pokestop as a Pokestop. I think that's just
that would be hilarious. Yeah, I wonder what I could do to incorporate, if somebody could do a photo shoot somehow with it.
Well, there's so much sidewalk space on that side. You could do 30 different things. You could have a whole mural type of thing going on.
So I've been thinking about the wings that I want to do though. And I want to incorporate Star Wars ships into the wings to form the shape of the butterfly wings.
That'd be cool.
That'd be really cool. I want to talk to David, too. So there's a graffiti problem in Cloquet. So David...
The cops are going to come and, they'll be painting the side of the building. They'll be like, what are you doing? He'll be like,
Like,
I
we
own the
this
building.
place.
But no, David, how can we put cameras up? Or what are we going to do for security? David, you are hired as security
Consultant.
Do you know how much I would cry if I got done with my wings and some stupid butthole decided to come and paint over my wings?
Kara loves using the phrase "stupid butthole." I'm adding that to Urban Dictionary.
Kara thinks everyone else is a stupid butthole.
Jeremy's gonna go and make his own Urban Dictionary
Definition. Of
definition.
Kara.
That was a very sarcastic comment, Jeremy.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Swanky says we should make my workstation look like Darth Vader's meditation chamber.
That
Yes,
That'd be
that'd
cool.
be super
Like,
cool.
Completely impractical, but it'd
Right,
be sweet.
right.
I could have all the AC in there that I want.
Whenever
Yep.
we begin to annoy Chris, it just starts to go. Vroom.
Right.
Yep.
It'll be like that clip where it's just like. Vroom, vroom.
Yeah. David says I'm listening.
Okay. Well.
Well, this is a conversation for off air, so
Well,
people
right,
don't
right,
know
right.
every security hole we
But
have.
right. Like I want to know like what type of cameras or what do you got for a solution?
What are those ones that like Filmini's like super on board with them? They're kind of like competing with Ring. They're really cheap.
Well, there's Waze, and
Yep,
then
that's
there's
the one.
Waze. He likes
Yeah.
those ones. But yeah, we won't spoil people's technology that they use, but I know other people who really like those too. Next thing, Chris.
Yes.
So for David, 3D printing. Cam, I don't know if Cam's here or not. Cam loves talking about 3D printing. I do have a 3D
I was
printer.
gonna say, Cam hasn't commented in a.
He was like
No, I
last
think he
week.
was here
I
last
think.
week.
Oh,
He
was
here
he?
last week?
Okay.
It's like we just have to call him out directly, otherwise he won't comment. Cam,
So-
prove that you're here.
right. I got commissioned to do some 3D printing, and I printed these things. And did you try the buttons?
Yeah, those actually are really slick.
That whole thing blew my mind. The fact that I printed
Whoever
this
designed
case.
it,
Money, yeah. The tolerances
I
on
gave
this
the okay
print.
sign. I realized that people can't
Yeah,
see
right.
me.
Yeah. So that was a really cool print. And in the process of I run into getting my first layer to stick. Okay, so I have a glass bed. It's so nice, but getting something. You got to get stuff to stick, but when it's done, you got to get it to unstick, and that's the fun of 3D printing. So a glass bed, when it cools down, it pops off like nothing. And then it's a quick release plate, so you can actually throw it in the freezer if it's a really stuck print, and the print just pops right off. They're awesome for getting stuff off the print bed. But I have to use this thing called a raft, and it lays down a little bit of goop, and it kind of like smushes it down, and then it comes back in it. So the next actual print sticks to itself better, right? Well, I should be able to just print right on the bed itself, and then you get a nice smooth like glass bottom and a much beautiful, better finish. So I got to learn how to do that.
I
So-
think you just need to invest into 400 grit sandpaper, Jeremy.
Right. So I'm sitting there typing up, watching videos on how to do it, and I found a really cool bird whistle that I printed. And so it's a little whistle, and if you it doesn't work if you blow on it, but then I don't know where it is. Maybe, or I don't know. It's on the white table out there. It's fine.
Oh, I
on
mean,
that
I
white
can
table.
quick.
Okay, well, we'll show it off. Anyways, and then Chris, I'm excited because I'm going to blow your mind too. I'm really excited because 3D printing is really, really fun. So Chris is grabbing this whistle. It's not going to work because I don't have water to put in it. So, all right, Chris, you're going to hand her to me, toss it to me. Oh, he's going to prep it. All right. Woo! I got lost in the light. Okay, so here we go. This is the cute little birdie. Okay.
I think you should bring it close so people can
No,
actually.
Chris is gonna
see it.
you'll just do that. Yeah, there we go.
Oh.
We'll block it in front of my face. Okay, all right. My stupid coworkers, they said this looks like a crack pipe, and I'm offended.
Constituently speaking, it could be a pipe of some type.
A whistle! Get your minds out of the gutter. So that's what it sounds
Yeah.
like when there's no
It's
water.
like, use
It's kinda
restraint.
dry and crusty, you know. Okay. So we're gonna take.
I'd plug the other eye hole so it doesn't just fall out the other side.
All right, here we go. I'm probably gonna.
Neanderthal it.
That's probably enough. All right, here we go. I'll do it away and quiet. All right.
That's pretty cool.
Cool is that? It is so cool. So, Chris, I wanted to surprise you, but I saw online a 3D print I know you're going to want like 20 of.
Okay.
Are you ready for this? The screw container from Satisfactory.
Oh, heck yes.
And I even have the blue PLA.
That is amazing.
How
Wait.
cool is that?
We should try and find
I need to look this up.
Ashley has that Cricut. We could actually get the Fix-It like stickers for it and everything.
There's Fix-It keychains. There's the Fix-It coffee cup. There's the trophies. All of those 3D files. They have the manufacturer things you can 3D print, like the all of the
Wait, these
machinery.
things?
Yes. Oh, look at how sick that looks. Would you? Just show.
Yeah. Oh, that's dope. Here. Boop.
It may seem silly, but when you see 100,000 on your conveyor belt,
Yep.
it's just becomes an iconic thing.
Well, and we have a gajillion things that need holding anyway.
How fun that would that be to have like the satisfactory storage containers?
That would be dope.
So I knew you would be excited.
That's
about that.
awesome.
Yeah.
And then we can make like a little rack or something that they all live on.
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
that was kind of a fun thing. So 3D printing is really fun. I absolutely loved. I thought this birdie thing was just like so cute. I did actually print it for Kara.
Now that your mouth's been all over it, I'm sure she's excited to have it.
It's out of water. I drank it.
Put the bubbler in there, see if it makes it sound better.
Yeah, right.
Right.
It sounds like a woodpecker instead. And then, Chris, and then somebody else, when I did it at work, because I brought it to work to show it off, somebody else said,
That's perfect.
somebody else said, I blew way too hard, so water came blowing out the eyeballs the first time. Somebody said I should stick googly eyes on it and then blow, and then the eyeballs will just blow off.
I told Jeremy he should put out the googly eyes on a spring and glue the eyes so the eyes go blue and then back in once you're done blowing on it.
Or you just put in that inflatable,
like the stress
yeah,
ball thing,
and you just go whoop, and they blow out like an inflator.
You know what's funny? You bring up googly eyes. My sister, she has a zip up that she wears everywhere. She has a package of googly eyes in the pocket.
Does she googly eye random stuff?
She will just randomly apply Google eyes to things.
That is epic.
So my Ahsoka cosplay.
Yes.
You
Not
know-
Google eyes.
All the buttons on it,
Yeah.
spray painted googly eyes.
That's so true.
hilarious.
Yep.
Because the dome looks like a button, and she just spray painted it like it's a
Yep.
good button.
Yep.
That's right. I forgot about
That's
that.
awesome.
And they're cheap. You can buy a bag of like 100 of them for $1.
Yeah, I think that's why she just carries them around with her.
It's hilarious.
That is pretty. I should do that at work. Start googling eyes, people.
You should.
Yeah.
You should do it to the back of Pat's head.
Oh my goodness, that is pretty funny. All right,
Is
we
he
got
sweaty?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so.
Just
'cause it
take
won't
some
stick
Elmer's,
otherwise.
some Elmer's glue sticks, and just be like, "Hey, Pat," like just pretend you're not putting anything on him, type
Right.
thing,
But
That's hilarious. Life
got-
hacks with Kara.
life hacks with carriages. But anyway, so 3D print. There's a bunch of cool stuff nowadays. There's like this vise that you can print, and it's got like rollers in it, so it actually conforms to any type of weird irregular shaped object you put in it. Kara, there is some really cool planters and like succulent things you can print.
Ooh, I feel like I added a ton of stuff to your
Thingiverse.
Thingiverse to print for me. I'm sure it was all like Ahsoka related and
Like D was
whatnot.
making those lift bridge and orbo planters for a
Oh,
while.
that's cool.
So yeah, you could I don't think he was painting them, but you could paint them to look just like an orbo, but then you got your plants growing in where the
Oh,
color
that's
would be.
cool.
Well, I have printed a thermal detonator from Star Wars, which is pretty
Rex's
cool.
blaster, or just a
Rex's-
clone blaster.
Yeah.
You 3D printed the House of Cat from Witcher.
Oh, that's right. The
The
logo
series
for the thing for
Logo
Kara's
that she wears
costume.
from Witcher.
That's still under construction after 65 years.
Okay, well, you know what? I kind of got pregnant, and so it was kind of hard to fit things to my body.
That's how life goes.
And no, Kara's sarcastic. That was a definition of sarcasm.
What do you mean? It is hard to fit things to your body.
It's kind of hard to print things to your body.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, I
I'm
liked
Kara.
her when you guys were talking about your definition, and she's like, "Oh, Becky, remember Christopher? He's my favorite." Oh my gosh, I don't totally do.
Only Valley girls need apply.
Like,
Right?
totally.
Brad, I know you know some.
Well, apparently, once Brad or Chris
Okay.
start, there's no stopping.
When we were in high school, Valley girls were everywhere. Even here up in
Yeah.
Minnesota, everybody was like,
Oh, don't
like,
you know?
Oh, don't you know? Like, oh my gosh.
Can you imagine a Midwest Valley girl?
I don't
Oh my
want
gosh.
to imagine that. That's not a world I want to live
Nope.
in.
Ugh.
Oh, so yeah, and then I got work this weekend, which wasn't fun. What else is going on?
Vocal fry is pretty terrible. You guys familiar with what vocal fry
Yeah.
is? So it's when people like intentionally try and make their voices deeper and it gets all crackly and it happens to me sometimes unintentionally when I'm
Yeah.
trying to like get the bassy voice going.
Right.
Because like eventually, but it just gets like it's
Yeah.
awful. I can't even do it.
I'm getting voice scratchy. Just
You
thinking about
can Google vocal fry example and you can hear it. It's bad.
I want
My
to see a
voice
picture
teacher
of. Shut up and take my money.
My voice teacher in college said I had vocal fry, and I was like, she's like, I didn't realize it was. She was like, it wasn't such a big thing until your generation came along.
What?
Well,
So Kara's responsible for all vocal fry?
I guess so.
Allegedly, what it comes from is it's 99% happens to women.
Oh.
And it's from trying to sound more authoritative.
Oh.
Because like the higher your voice, apparently psychologically, like the less seriously you're taken.
Mm-hmm.
So specifically when women are like broadcasters or working in the news or what is like some typically traditionally male dominated things, working in a business, whatever, you know, anything that anybody can do, but women aren't taken as seriously, they have a tendency to try and lower their voices to sound more authoritative and leads to this vocal fry. So newscasters all the time, 24/7 it happens to.
Huh.
And it's such a big deal. Like everybody hires vocal coaches to try and train people to not do that. In addition to like proper phrasing and like how to like eloquence and this and that or whatever. And it's not like they're always doing it, but it's like every so often they're just like, okay, we're gonna go through, you know, boot camp essentially for how to talk.
Interesting. That is pretty darn interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's one of those things that nobody really ever thinks about unless it directly affects you. Yeah, Swanky brings up most female sports announcers have lower voices compared to the average female pitch.
Mm-hmm.
So,
interesting.
again, for the same reason, it's been such a male-dominated thing that, like, because women aren't given the opportunities when they do get in, like, they're trying to, like, fit in and make sure they sound like they're supposed to be there, so it happens.
When it can happen while you're singing, too, and it's at the beginning of a phrase or at the end of a phrase where you kind of do a little,
Yeah, that's actually exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah.
So, like, when you hear that type of noise when people are talking, that's exactly what vocal fry is.
Who brought up vocal fry? Was it Swanky?
That was Brad.
Oh, it was Brad?
Yeah.
Way to go, Brad.
But, yeah. So,
that was not sarcasm. That's
Wasn't
crazy.
it, though, Jeremy?
No, it wasn't. Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Brad. That wasn't sarcastic at all.
Hey, Chris, I know you're going to be excited about this. Kara, okay. Everyone, tune in for tonight's topic. I have a topic for us to talk about.
Oh, so, speaking of interruptions, if you're watching on Cat 7, congratulations. This is the second episode we've recorded since we've been on local television. If you want to see something that's about 1,000% more up to date, check us out on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch live 7 p.m. Central. Is where whatever the platform is /Rise the Podcast will bring you there, and you can watch us live and participate.
That's right. Don't forget it. And don't forget it. Oh, another quick tangent. Sorry, and then we're gonna go back to this other thing.
This is the
Brooke said the funniest thing today. She was talking very ill of her neighbor, and we're like, Brooke.
Hey, hi, Janae.
Oh, hi, Janae.
Hey, Janae.
So
she knows what Cat 7 is.
So Brooke was talking bad about her neighbor, and we're like, Brooke, why do you hate your neighbor so much? And they're the similar age. She's like, we were younger. He stole my SpongeBob birthday card. I chased him down with a bat and took it back. I was like, dang, you don't take Brooke's SpongeBob, apparently. But I was like, that went from like SpongeBob birthday card to chased him down with a bat.
To murder.
To murder him. So I thought that part was really funny as well.
Is there anything you want us to talk about, Janae? I'm surprised she's like, not that she wouldn't watch, but she's so busy.
Right, like bees or lavender.
And it's like the middle of the night over there.
Right.
So the topic for tonight is we're going to talk about, I believe it's called a trope, Deus Machinima.
Deus Ex Machina.
What you said, and that's where people in a movie, people do something, but then at the end what they did doesn't really matter because some entity just comes and fixes it instead.
So it stands for the God of the Machine.
No way. Okay, Chris, enlighten us.
So this is...
I knew you would get going on this.
This is screenplay faux pas number 1.
Oh, it's a bad thing?
It is a very bad thing.
Oh.
So what's supposed to happen in a film is your characters are given a problem or a circumstance or a scenario that they need to overcome, right? They grow as characters, they develop a skill, they gain a legendary item, they stop being a dick, whatever it is.
Yep.
They become better for it, and then that new skill helps them resolve that problem, right?
Okay.
So in Tommy Boy, you know, like he gains his confidence, he stops screwing up, he saves the company, right?
So great movie then, based off of that.
So, like, well, it doesn't... So, a Deus Ex Machina would be if his dad won the lottery at the end, and that's what saved the company.
Got it.
That's something completely
it's
unrelated...
Lazy.
Yeah, something completely unrelated to anything that the characters had undergone, and it just solves the problem at the end.
So without cheating, can we think of some movies that have that as an example? So then... And we can just talk about them. I think we kind of fun.
I was going to say the real live action Mulan.
Well, there's Chi.
Yeah, like there's nothing she learned. It's just this phoenix that came out of nowhere and fixed everything.
Okay, so the one I was thinking of is technically, and even though I love the movie, Raiders of the Lost Ark one, because at the end the Ark would have just killed everybody anyways, and then all Indy had to do was shut his eyes.
Yeah, well, so
What would you like?
they never would have found the Ark had Indy not found the right place to dig.
Okay,
Right, so like the fact that they're even opening it to begin with, he had to be involved.
all right.
Right, unless they just spent years just strip mining the desert or whatever.
The Minecraft
They're
approach.
digging in the wrong place.
Yeah, right.
Take back one Kadam to honor whose god the Ark this is.
Look at you dropping your sweet.
I
Raiders
love
knowledge.
Raiders of the Lost
It's
Ark.
a fantastic movie. Is that the one where
Six
the
Kadam
plane
high.
turns and it cuts the guy
Oh
up?
yeah!
Oh, so good.
Actually, that guy that he fights. So do you remember in Temple of Doom the guy on the conveyor belt that he's fighting when he's getting voodoo dolls?
Yeah.
Same dude.
No way.
Yep. They fight the Indian and the actor who plays that guy. They fight in all three films or
No
all three
way.
original films anyway.
That's so
That's
cool.
cool.
So
See, and that was a movie detail I didn't know. And you got a bunch of comments.
yeah. So Janae said they harvested honey today. Kajana Boyd, I believe I'm pronouncing that right, on YouTube, keeps posting Disney Plus Marvel Studios Black Widow movie.
I have not watched it.
So I imagine there's some sort of Deus Ex Machina in there potentially. I haven't seen it yet either. I don't
interesting.
care if there's. I believe that's why they're bringing it up.
So I want to come back and talk more about the Deus Maxima thing, and I don't do that to like. I actually can't say it; it's too advanced for me.
Hold on, I gotta interrupt real quick. Swanky, they wouldn't have gotten the original headpiece because it would have died. It would have gotten melted down in the bar fire when Marion was interacting with the Nazis, and they wouldn't have been able to dig in the desert at all.
Yes, Chris and Swanky are Raiders fighting. No, so I feel really bad. Black Widow ruined, for the most part, Disney Premier Access, at least for Marvel movies, because
It's still on there as Premier Access.
but Marvel has said they are never going to release another movie on Disney Plus because what
No,
happened?
she took
is-
it. Hold on.
Okay.
She took it off and put it on the table before. I can't remember the name of the guy, the bald guy that ends up getting the thing burnt onto his hand before he even came in. So she would have been tortured and killed. I guess the bar wouldn't have burnt down. I doubt they would have. We're splitting hairs here. I might be wrong now, but the point is, Marion would be dead. The Nazis might or might not have the Ark, but they would also be dead too.
Well, so what I was getting at was, let's say Indiana Jones didn't exist,
Yeah.
and the Nazis find the Ark.
Yep.
They're gonna open it and get their eyeballs fried because they don't know. So
Yeah.
really, Indy didn't have an impact on the overall story.
Well, so the top men part would have happened, and the Nazis would probably still have the Ark. They would have sent another group of people after it.
Oh, and then realized to not open it then?
Well, yeah, well, they're like, oh, everyone's dead. Maybe that wave opens up. They're like, everyone keeps dying when they show up here. So by the time Jurassic Park 3
Right.
happens, they're probably done opening the box.
And then so I want to come back to the Deus Ex Machina.
Deus Ex Machina.
Oh, that is hard to say.
Deus, which is Latin for deity, god, whatever.
Oh,
And then Ex Machina is from machine.
what was I talking about before they were fighting?
I don't know.
That Deus Ex Machina.
I
is.
can't remember. Anyways,
Oh, Black Widow ruined Disney's
Oh!
Premier Access.
so
there you
because it was on Disney Plus, people just OBS'd it and then just shotgunned it out in the world for everyone for free. So Disney lost a substantial amount of money, or Marvel.
That's probably why they charge $30 for you to watch it.
Yeah, to make up for all the pirating. And anyways, it's like now that is the #1 most pirated movie of all time, and I still haven't seen it. I want to see
Well,
it,
and it's
but
not even good, probably.
to me, being a Marvel movie, I want to see it in theaters. So, and it makes it hard for us to go to movie theaters and with a kid nowadays because we have to find a babysitter, and that's way harder than.
Well, no, just be those guys and bring them in.
And that way.
Let him go teapot mode.
Yeah, right. Okay, so anyways, so what are some other examples of cinema that are like that? People were Wizard of Oz. The water spilled, so it really didn't have anything to do with her. Like there was nothing like she did. Could we say the water?
That's true.
Was defeating the witch the point, or was getting back to Kansas the point?
Who? Okay, the witch interaction could have been a Deus Machina.
It's typically you typically would consider that.
Somebody argued. I did study up on it a little bit. Somebody argued that she sidestepped and then somehow the witch was aiming for something else, and so maybe her actions caused it to reveal that the witch was weak to water, and then they dumped the bucket on her.
It's honestly, I haven't seen that movie since I was like 12 or 13 years old. I forget the exact scenario where it happens.
There was a really cool visual trick that they pulled off back then. I just read about when she reveals when her skin changes color right live as it goes, like she reveals that she's the witch, and then all of her skin changes color in grayscale, or in black and white. They lit her with blue, and it hid the makeup. And when they switched to red light, you couldn't see anything else change in the room. But when they switched to red light, it made the makeup pop on her face. So it was just lighting for grayscale that they got
I don't remember her changing color.
She like reveals that she's an evil witch, and then her skin just goes super dark, and she's like, ah, ha, 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 ha. In the
interesting.
It's been so long since I've seen that.
I do know that makeup for black and white films is completely like people looked insane.
Oh yeah, and even outfits. Addams Family. The set was pink.
Yeah,
it was the opposite of the most depressing thing. To get like the gray look that they wanted to, they like the furniture and stuff was super pink. Look it up; you'll find it really interesting.
It's pretty wild.
Addams Family set.
Everything's Deus Ex Machina, apparently.
Whoa, everything is.
But
I was just trying to. So anyway, more examples might be kind of fun.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Kara pulled it up and she's looking at the set. Isn't that cool?
It's like a lot of pinks and yellows and.
Yeah, like people's makeup jobs were like ludicrous.
Yeah, for the
because it's just like the science of the way that the film captures the light and the quality of light and all that or whatever. Pretty nuts, but
is Jurassic Park one? Because it would have resolved itself. Well,
no,
the T-Rex showing up. The fact that they were going to get killed by the raptors and then nobody did anything besides the T-Rex showing up to save the day. Yeah, so it's not the whole arch.
I mean, that one's borderline because it was released by the same mechanism that the raptors were released, by Newman cutting the power, whatever his actual name is.
Right.
And the thing, Wayne Knight's character, I can never remember what his name is.
Right.
Yeah. But so he was the impetus for all of the things that happened. There's a reason that the T-Rex was out to save them.
That's true.
Right? So, like, if the T-Rex was the only thing that had not escaped and then suddenly had escaped without any reason, that's clear Deus Ex Machina.
Kara, why don't you Google search a couple of those?
I was going to say.
Deus Machina.
Yeah.
Machina.
It's really fun to talk about it, though. Like, I love thinking about it. And then I was trying to think of, like, other movies. So Star Wars is a well-written movie, then. Because it's like, he learns the Force, and then he uses the Force to blow up the Death Star.
Well, yeah, so, like, the...
Or is it the fact that there's a port? This is just playing...
What? No.
The fact that there's a port that can be blown up.
Well, there has to be a weakness, is the thing. And that's just storytelling in general. It's like, you can't have an impenetrable fortress that has no weakness.
The Achilles heel.
So this is Screen Rant. I don't know.
Screen Rant's fairly reliable.
Toy Story.
Oh, yeah.
Says Toy Story doesn't exactly seem like the sort of movie that would be bombarded with plot issues. It's a movie about living toys, after all. So disbelief has to be suspended somewhat. However, all seems lost for Bud and Woody when they get stranded at a gas station. All of a sudden, they notice that a delivery driver for the exact restaurant Andy is filling up is filling up right next to them, and they hop in.
I mean, I would say that's more plot convenience than Deus Ex Machina. If it hadn't been set up that they were going to Pizza Planet at all, if they were just going on a car ride,
right?
And then they're like, they just jump in the first available vehicle, and it brings them, and they're like, oh my gosh, Andy's right there,
right?
So like that's sort of borderline. Plot convenience. So here's how movies have been explained to me. Movies are whatever the story is with the boring parts cut out, right? So do you want them to sit at the gas station for 43 minutes of the movie trying to find a way to get to Pizza Planet?
Right.
No, so it's like you're going to build in plot conveniences to just get you to the next thing.
What about the original Superman where he flies backwards around the planet? Is that kind of is that plot
That's
convenience?
A power that he has never shown before. That's a Deus Ex Machina.
There we go. So that was a good one. In the original Superman, he just flies backwards on the planet to reverse time.
He had never been shown, to my knowledge, had never been shown to have the power to fly fast enough to reverse time. And then so it's like they kill Lois Lane. It's this big moment, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And he just reverses time and gets a do-over.
Yeah.
And it's like, so if Superman has time reverse powers, literally nothing tragic could ever happen because Superman can just time reverse everything.
All right, guys. We are a Star Wars podcast.
Okay.
Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. The Star Wars prequels aren't exactly known for the logical connections to the original trilogy, but Attack of the Clones makes a few questionable continuity decisions. When Padme is facing certain doom in the droid factory, R2-D2 saves the day with a newfound ability to fly, which has never been hinted at before.
So again, not the plot of the entire movie, but like a mini one.
Yeah, that would be an example for sure.
Yeah, because all of a sudden he's got rocket packs.
Yep. So it's like it's almost like a reverse Chekhov's gun. If you're familiar with Chekhov's gun.
Well, enlighten us just to clarify.
So Chekhov's gun is the principle that if you're in a mansion, you see a gun on the mantelpiece, attention is brought to that gun. By the third act, that gun has to be used in some way.
100%. Now, so
this is the reverse of that. So it's like if this gun suddenly shows up and is used, but was not set up in the first place, that's kind of how you end up in a situation like this. So if earlier in the film, if you saw him using the rocket boosters to get, like, or even in episode 1, like when he's like fixing the Queen's shuttle or whatever, if you saw him using rocket boosters to like get back around or something that sets up the ability, then it's more believable that in episode 2 he can use those same things.
Yeah.
Kara and I find it fun. We just call it a smoking gun. We just find it fun to call out a smoking gun. Then when it's used later, it's kind of fun. You know, Knives Out, no spoiler or whatever, they use the fake knife in the beginning. And then at the end of the movie, the guy goes to stab the person who figures out he was a murderer.
And right before I called it out, like,
and he grabs a knife off the wall and he goes to stab the guy to kill him.
Yep.
And it's a rubber knife. And it was established in the beginning that knife was fake. So it was super cool because, you know.
So that, I mean, I feel like even if you can call it at the beginning, like there's so many, like, so speaking of tropes, right? Sometimes tropes have to exist so people just understand the shorthand to be able to get the point.
Right.
So something like that, I think, is an example of good storytelling. So you set it up at the beginning, you're aware that it exists, so it's not like, where did that come from at the end? So.
Yeah, because now imagine if it wasn't established, because there's like a key scene in the beginning where it is established, like it's a fake knife and they're acting and it's like fun and blah, 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 and then the guy gets up and they brush it off and it's like established. And if you imagine if that scene didn't take place in Knives Out, and at the end the guy goes to get stabbed, and then you just find out it's a rubber knife, how ripped off would you feel?
Yeah.
If it's just like, oh, how convenient, it's a rubber knife.
So here's a big one, like an actual whole plot, I guess.
Do you think this is interesting?
Well,
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some of these things I think are just like basic plot hole things.
Yeah.
Like Deus Ex Machina is like the biggest, worst version of a plot hole.
So The Matrix Revolutions.
I saw it once. I'm not particularly a fan of the Matrix sequels.
The third installment of the Matrix franchise has a major Deus Ex Machina moment when it looks like the main character Neo is going to lose to his enemy, Agent Smith. Neo pleads with the machine, literally called Deus Ex Machina, to kill Agent Smith to save the entire Matrix world. The Deus Ex Machina machine suddenly shows up and fixes everything Neo had been trying to solve in the movie.
See, and that's why they're garbage.
Yeah, well, at least they had the decency to just be like, we're not getting out of this. We'll just use a Deus Ex Machina and call it that. But
I think you might have had a buttload of comments.
There's a lot of examples coming in from Kajana of things that I haven't seen.
Well, you can read some of them off.
Oh, so listing some of the things. So going back.
Did Gabe say one?
Oh, Gabe said I'm back at.
Hi, Gabe.
A million years ago. Disney Plus Star Wars. A lot of those I think have plot issues, but can't think of one in particular.
Well, episode 2.
Well, you mean The Last Jedi?
Oh, the new ones?
Yeah, the Disney Plus Star Wars.
Oh, got it. Disney.
Or the Disney Star Wars.
Got it.
The Sony Columbia Company Spider-Man from 1962. Haven't seen that.
I have not seen that, yeah.
So, yeah. But,
anyways, was there any more on your list, or was that it?
Oh, they put Lord of the Rings, Return of the King.
Oh, Kara's
are they talking about the Eagles?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's established that that's not a plot hole or a Deus Ex Machina because they're supposed to be an independent faction that's not meddling in the thing or whatever. Once the events are done, then they don't feel like they're impacting anything by getting them out of there or whatever.
Right.
So that's
and that's exactly what it was. They said,
I
why did they show up to say with the last minute?
I love how I'm going to edit Kara's Urban Dictionary. Refuses to talk bad about Lord of the Rings.
It's all explained in the books.
Yeah,
right,
Jeremy, read the books.
Are you excited?
Jeremy doesn't read books.
Yeah, right.
I heard. Are you talking about Amazon's Lord?
No, I mean that. But then my coworker loves Wheel of Time series, and he said that Wheel of Time was actually the inspiration for Game of Thrones. The character point of view, like storytelling, the way that he like broke it back and forth, and that's getting its own series. So he's really excited about that.
What is?
David for Wheel of Time.
Bye, Janae. Thanks for joining us. She said she's going to be
Bye.
babysitting soon. Is she coming up to visit or something? Or?
Yeah, she's coming up. I think sometime in August.
Oh, dope. Hey, she can check out the new place.
Oh, that's totally
Hopefully.
true. Yeah, 100%.
Bring your sledgehammer.
Yeah, right.
Eh.
So yeah, I just thought that was kind of a pretty cool thing, and then we spent the afternoon just trying to think of examples, and that's where I had thought of like Superman was one that I had come across.
Yeah, that's a definite. I mean, so because like it really boils down to because like Kara had talked about like suspension of disbelief or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something like when you go in to watch something, it's like you have to willingly decide that you're just going to believe that what unfolds is true, right?
Right.
That's your suspension of disbelief. Your willing suspension of disbelief. When something breaks that, like logically, like a plot hole or something, that takes you out of the film. If something is so big and plot breaking as a Deus Ex Machina happens, it's basically impossible to get through watching the film while maintaining that suspension of disbelief.
Got it.
She said no sledgehammer but babysitter. I mean that's fair enough.
That's just as good, right?
You gonna bring some of that honey along with you that you harvested today?
Oh, right.
Honey's so freaking good.
So Kara, so this is a funny one from your point of view. I was gonna do. Eventually, we'll do this, Chris. And we'll start throwing pictures up on there. I saw a machine that was patented in the 50s or 60s, and it was a medical birthing assisting device. And
That sounds like a torture device to me.
It sure does.
No, it gets better. What you do is you strap the woman down on a center,
I'm on board already.
on a life-size centrifuge, and you just spin her until the baby comes out.
That's hilarious.
And so the comments
What on earth?
The comments were pure gold. It was invented by a husband and wife, and they were actually granted the patent. And so one of the comments said, "Do they not realize?" Oh, and the baby gets caught in a net. So there's just a net that surrounds the whole thing.
Can you imagine just being nice and toasty and warm, and all of a sudden, like, you start spinning and go boom,
Boom! You get
into
shot
a
out.
net.
Well,
In the patent office's defense, the only thing that you need to do to get a patent is prove that nobody else has had a substantially similar idea.
Nobody else was
good.
touched enough to come up with something like that. Good
Here's
Lord.
what was funny about it. Somebody was like, do they not know women defecate while giving birth? Some of the time. So they're like, boy, I can really see the poop hitting the fan on that one or whatever. It's just as they're getting sprayed by...
Can you imagine the husband sitting there just getting absolutely nailed, like, wow, this is a mistake.
And then somebody else commented, and they're like, wow, that's classy. And in the patent, the woman wasn't wearing a bra, but it was a drawing. It was like a 3D or like a
schematic,
CAD
yeah.
schematic. And they're like, yeah, don't they like? Why can't she wear a bra or whatever? So there was all these comments about like, it's gonna ruin her, but it was funny because it was like because breastfeeding is really hard anyways on women or whatever. But the funny one is George Lucas's comment how she must be going to space, and in bras they don't need space, or in space they don't need underwear.
In bras?
You know what I mean? Because Leia didn't wear. I know what I said, but if we go with the fix and we go back to it.
In bras, they don't need space.
George
Kara, would you like to
Lucas
comment?
told Carrie Fisher
I need some space, thank you.
she doesn't need to wear underwear because
There's no bras in space.
There's no bras in space.
Yeah.
And so
in bras,
people
you
were,
don't need space.
people were commenting on the fact that, like a centrifuge is a very space thing for like people to go into. So it was like, oh,
It's like the Gravitron. Just
come
go to the Gravitron.
exactly.
come spinning into this world, or future astronauts in the training, or whatever, blah 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 blah. And there's the comments on this thing were pure gold. But I wanted to know your opinion. Like, would you use that device to help you give birth?
No.
But like as the baby gets spun out, he's gonna go from inside to outside, and so.
No.
So what I was imagining when you said some 50s or 60s medical devices, something with like a lot of clamps and claws and spacers. And
Yeah,
it's just
no,
like,
no.
Right? And just like ripping the woman apart like.
Yeah.
No, you let physics do the work.
No.
Yeah, Isaac Newton is now in charge of you being your OBGYN.
How were you born? I got shot out and hit an apple. I thought it was really, really funny, and like I said,
It is funny.
The comment
It's ridiculous.
section was pure gold. And then, like I said, talking about
did she have a terrible birth and was like, how can I make this easier? Ooh, let's spin the baby out of me. Like
or the husband watched and he was like, hold my beer.
But yeah, and then the wife was like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
She helped develop it.
Like,
That's why he says you should just add some rifling to the birth canal.
Yeah, right. See, that would be so
the baby just
funny.
comes out.
Spinning. That are the type of comments I love. That's hilarious. See, let's make it better. There's some rifling on there, and that's where they
You just have more accuracy so you can hit the net.
Yeah, you hit the net.
You don't want to be too high or too low.
Right.
Just,
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
Lord.
so
So why
funny.
don't you just mount a chair at the end of the table so as
the
the
doctor
table
can
so the
catch?
doctor can just be right there as the baby
doctors
comes
can't
launching
be
out.
Spun around like that. It'll hurt their brains.
It's fine. It's fine.
If they won't have one if they use this device to give birth to a
Lord.
baby.
That's insane.
I mean, you're already so uncomfortable as is when you're giving birth with
Maybe that's what they were
contractions
thinking.
and
So you're
everything.
so uncomfortable already, you just
Let's
won't
make
notice
it even
being
worse.
spun around at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Lord,
And then I got
all
two-
the blood will be up in like your brain.
I got two more things that I wanted to talk about, and so the other thing was I did watch it live. Jeff Bezos' rocket launch on the Blue Origin. It was cool. I thought it was really interesting. Okay, except can somebody talk to him about his rocket? The thing looks
Yeah.
phallic. It looks phallic.
All rockets are
does.
dongs, Jeremy.
You need to see this one in particular.
What's
Have
it
you not
called?
seen it? This is a treat.
What's it called?
A Blue Origins rocket.
Blue Origin rocket.
All right, Chris gets to see this for the first time on air.
It's pretty bad.
They just need two big fuel tanks on the side.
Okay, you see what I'm saying?
That is
Not what you were expecting?
pretty bad.
Well, and it was like, how does he not know that that's what it looks like? You know, I mean it.
I'm trying to see, where's the Blue Origin on this?
It's probably
Is it
not
the
on
smallest
there.
one there?
It says on Antares.
Oh.
So the big deal is
Is it that
who's
one right
the-
there?
Oh,
This
it's
is
up
the
top.
Falcon 9, Falcon Heavy.
It's
That's a
at the-
Saturn V.
It's at the very top near the X, going diagonal to the frame, right there.
Oh, at the upper left-hand
You're
corner.
putting your mouse right over it. It says Blue Origin, and then it shows the rocket above it.
What? That's a feather.
Oh! Sorry, from here that looked like a rocket.
Okay, I gotta click on this image.
Yeah, that's a feather. That's their logo. So it doesn't compare blue. Oh, or is it the second one from the right
With a tip gun.
with the tip gone? Because the head comes off.
Well, this is New Glenn 2-stage, New Glenn 3-stage, New Glenn landed booster.
Oh, okay.
Weird.
Huh.
But all right, we can go back to.
And Saturn V is such a classic rocket. It's
is
so
sick.
cool. They have a Lego Saturn V.
They also, that was one of the things my Pogs came in. McDonald's did a thing that put it all
Oh,
together.
yeah.
That's
Did you hit
cool.
any hot? Okay, we're back. Any comments on the blue?
The Fabulous Phallus.
So I mean, it's like, so was it Austin Powers who did one where they did the really funny scene, and they're like, "Have you seen it? It's hilarious."
Well, yeah,
So
it's like, it looks like a giant Johnson. Get over
Johnson,
here.
get
Yeah.
over here! And then it was like, Wang, pay attention.
Yeah.
He's like, sorry, I'm distracted by the, and then it just jumps from. It's really,
Yeah, so yeah, they finished the previous person's sentence with some sort of slang for wiener.
Yep.
And then it carries on for way too long. It's like, oh my god, what an enormous.
Yeah, yep. It's so funny. But anyways, it's ridiculous, right?
Oh,
And
apparently the Austin Powers memes were all over the place last week.
They are just everywhere right now. But so here's what's funny. So and everybody's mad, and I guess I don't matter. So I'll be.
You don't matter, Jerry.
No, I guess it doesn't matter to me. He is calling himself an astronaut, so the FAA actually spent time and then reworded the definition of what makes an astronaut, and they took away his title. So now
Okay.
Jeff Bezos is not an astronaut. I really don't care either way. Like, they went into low Earth orbit or whatever, and they floated around and blah, blah, blah. And they took Wally with her. The 82-year-old woman who was denied to be part of the space program because she was a woman, and she was more capable than any man, funnily enough, in a centrifuge. Seriously, she performed better than anybody else.
Well, she probably gave birth in one.
She probably gave birth in one.
She probably
Like you said,
designed
there are
it.
planes that went higher than his rocket went.
Okay, well, so part of the deal is the reason why he's not classified as an astronaut is because it wasn't driven by anybody in the craft. It was remote controlled.
Oh.
So they are comparing
So he was a
him
passenger.
to a passenger than to an actual astronaut.
Well, that would be like, then it would be like me getting, like, on a plane ride saying, oh, I'm a pilot. when I'm not flying the plane.
Well, people are also saying you're not a sailor if you're just on a ship.
Exactly.
You're a passenger.
Well, okay.
Exactly. On our cruise, we weren't sailors, we were passengers.
So here's the rules. So in a policy order that went into effect July 20th, so 4 days ago as of this recording, the FAA outlined 3 main eligibility requirements for commercial astronauts. The commercial launch crew members must be employed by an FAA-certified company performing the launch. They must reach an altitude higher than 50 miles above the surface of the Earth during flight, and they must have demonstrated activities during the mission that were essential to public safety or contributed to human space flight safety.
Interesting.
None of those 3 things I think of when I think of astronauts.
Huh.
Like, do I care that the FAA like clears the flight crew or whatever?
Right.
It's like when I think of an astronaut, I think of somebody that goes like this is just my definition.
Yeah.
You can disagree with it if you want, but an astronaut is somebody that goes into space to perform a task or function that has not been performed in space before.
Oh, there you go.
Right? You're doing something exploratory, right?
Yep.
So it's like where you just you could claim that the moon isn't in outer space technically.
Right.
Because there's technically the Earth's atmosphere extends beyond the moon.
Yep, a little bit. You could smell it.
Yeah, it's like
Man,
one part
you're
per
standing on the
billion.
moon and you're like, smell Earth from here? Man.
Yeah, oh man,
geez,
that atmosphere is all over the place
yeah,
on the moon.
get out of here.
So it's like you can split hairs as much as you want. I like whenever like if you get to the point where it looks like stars instead of the sky, you're basically in space.
Right.
Right? It's like that's like there's so many nits you can pick when it comes to this.
So I got a bunch of other funny things to talk about this too. Let's keep going. Let's keep
Oh,
going.
I was going to say really quick, how far is it from the Earth's surface to being in space?
So that's way up for debate. You could say 25 miles. You could say 50 miles. You could say 150 miles. How far?
While you're looking that up,
Do satellites?
there was 4 people on the ship. Wally, this awesome woman, Jeff Bezos, his brother, and an 18-year-old. So I was like, what's the deal with the 18-year-old? Do you guys know how the 18-year-old got on there?
How?
Money.
Probably.
It was a lottery. And so we were joking about it, be like, oh, can you imagine? It would have been really funny if it was the Amazon deal of the day. But it was only one in stock, and this kid just gets on, and he's like, oh, sweet, Amazon deal of the day. Rocket
Add
ship
to cart.
ride. Add to cart. Check out. That was really funny to me. But no, he won a lottery, and that's how he got to go into the space to do
So
it. It wasn't expensive. It's like $100. You get the lottery.
Communication satellites operate at 22,000 miles. GPS 12,400 miles.
Okay.
Feet or miles?
Miles. 12,000 feet is like shorter than Mount Everest.
Oh, dang. 12,000 miles. That's a lot. Well, I suppose I know the moon is 250,000 miles away. I keep that fact in my back pocket, actually. Because I once drove a truck, and it got 252. 252 if you want to be precise.
It's 238,855 miles.
250 is what I said first.
It averages to about that because it's close.
Oh, yeah. So the fun part about that, the reason why I bring it up, is because when my truck hit 240,000 miles, I thought, I could have drove this baby to the moon.
But not back.
But not back. That was just kind of a fun fact. That's what I knew.
My uncle had a post-it note in his truck that said distance to the moon right next to his odometer.
Cool.
So.
That is cool. Anyways, okay, any comments that we missed there?
No,
Okay.
not so far. So it's like, yeah, so like if he wants to call himself an astronaut, like, did he technically go into what I would consider space? Yes.
Right.
Did he do something that hadn't been done by somebody before? Not really.
Well, so
he's a private citizen.
The big deal is the Verizon owner did his flight like a week ago and also did the same thing. I don't know which one lasted longer, but what, Richard Branson?
That's Virgin Mobile. I think.
Virgin Mobile, then that's him.
Okay.
So those two are like butting heads. And you got Tesla who's doing his thing. But the
Elon Musk, yeah.
the launch was really cool. So it went up, it detached, the rocket landed back where it took off from, and then the capsule parachuted down. It was really cool to see. And so a lot of people have been saying, and we could get political and I won't get there crazily, but a lot of people, I love space. And a lot of people are like, oh, there's people who are starving and global warming and we shouldn't be worried about. Here's the thing. If there is a giant asteroid coming, we need to be able to get off this planet. And then one of the female astronauts that was talking about it who actually worked for NASA, made an awesome statement that said when you get up far enough to see the Earth as a dot, which, I mean, he got up to like see the Earth in like one view, I believe, it helps you put into perspective how valuable Earth is and why we should care about it and the people on it. Mm-hmm. So when she worded it like that, I was like, that's really cool. So hopefully like he saw that and he can take his money now and go, maybe we should do some stuff.
Are you familiar with the pale blue dot?
Yes, the picture taken from the moon.
It's not the moon.
Well,
it was one of the Voyager spacecraft.
Okay,
and it was leaving the.
I thought a photographer took it though, and he was the only person not in it.
No. That's a different thing. You're thinking of the one where it's on the moon. You see the Earth rising the horizon. He's technically the only person that's like it's a family photo of Earth, and he's not in it.
Got it.
But no, the pale blue dot. I believe it was Voyager or Voyager 2. It's leaving the solar system. They turn it around to take a picture of Earth. Yeah. Right? And Earth is literally like the one pixel.
Marble, yeah, pixel.
It's a blue pixel in this thing. So Carl Sagan writes like, I don't even know really what to call it. It's not necessarily a poem, not necessarily an essay, but this thing called the pale blue dot, like expressing how like that's the farthest away picture at that time that we've ever had of the Earth. And it's like when you can't define it other than that one pale blue pixel in this image is like how inconsequential, but also how important everything around you is.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the Earth in the grand scheme of things is just a pixel in this photograph, but in that pixel is everyone you've ever known, everything that's ever happened, and to the best of our ability, all life that has ever existed.
Yep.
So it's like we have to do what we can to, like make sure that pixel continues to operate. It's like we need to work together. It's a very if you Google pale blue dot, it's a very beautiful sentiment.
And so she implied that with Jeff Bezos. Now, something else to consider. This fact blew my mind. You are closer in wealth, Chris, to Elon Musk than Elon Musk is to Jeff Bezos.
That's pretty wild. Pops are out.
That is wild, right? Isn't that crazy to think about? Like, that's how how much money and then how far ahead of the pack he is.
Well, because Elon Musk has what, like a few $1 billion?
A lot of money. I mean, he's got Tesla, SpaceX.
But Jeff Bezos has like hundreds of billions of dollars.
I think
a single billion is a incalculably large number.
The internet can correct me or look it up, or you can look it up. I think he's hit trillionaire status. He has $1 trillion.
I don't think that's accurate. $1 trillion. Jeff Bezos net worth that's $1,000 billion.
I'm telling you. I want to say I glanced over it.
$209 billion.
Look up, just type in Jeff Bezos trillion and see what pops up.
I'm get ready to go to fakenews.com.
No,
he could potentially become a trillionaire as early as 2026.
Okay, so that's what I must have read.
That's only 5 years from now.
Well, so he has a fifth of $1 trillion right now.
I mean, that's still an incomprehensible amount of money.
Well, because if you think $1,000 buys you a decent amount of stuff, right?
Right.
So $1,000 sets of $1,000 is $1 million, right?
Well, time is my favorite way to wrap your mind around it. Is that 1 million seconds is 12 days and 1 billion seconds is 33 years.
Yeah.
That boom, that puts it into perspective.
Yeah, so you said what, 1 billion seconds is 33 years?
Yep.
So 1 trillion seconds then, so that's another 1,000 times longer. That's 33,000 years then.
That's insane.
That's the difference between the entire existence of humanity and how old you are right now.
Yeah, that's
crazy. The order of magnitude difference.
Yeah, that's insane.
If you whatever science, but so that's the difference is all of recorded human history.
We have been watching this show on Netflix. It was only 6 episodes. It's called Heist. And it covers this one woman and her boyfriend stole a armored car out of Vegas.
She would drive for an armored car company, and they would drive around to different casinos, picking up or dropping off money to put into ATMs. And she and her boyfriend hatched a plan where, when she dropped off these people to refill the ATMs, she would drive off
with the truck.
And they had a place to dump it, and they packaged all the money, and then they had the money boxed and shipped to a place out in Miami.
So here's kind of the fun thing. And then the next one, these people, Lufthansa Air Company, Lufthansa would fly in crates of what was it, $8 million every week on this airline over and over and over and over again. So one of the guys told his friends, and they hit it, and they were planning on taking it all.
Well, that one's a real one.
That was $100.
No, everything was. All of these stories.
I think it was $100 million.
So they could only get 8 million because of how heavy the cash was.
They didn't realize how heavy it was.
Lufthansa aircraft robbery is like one of the most famous robberies of robberies.
Yeah.
They would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for one guy.
If it wasn't for those darn kids.
Right. But so they were foiled by the weight and package of the money. And then the one for the armored truck out of Vegas, the FBI finally got onto their trail because they figured out who sent out a bunch of packages that weighed this X amount of money. So
that's so smart.
But they got away with it. They never got the guy.
Because they went to an extradited country. They went to Amsterdam.
Extradition country?
Yeah.
They went to Amsterdam.
Yep.
I didn't realize that Amsterdam is not an extradition. It's usually Argentina or something.
Yeah, Amsterdam. Right. But the woman, after 15 years or something like that, finally decided she wanted to live a normal life because she had a kid. She had she married this other guy over in Amsterdam, and she was like, I can't keep living this life. Her forged passport was worried to expire. She's like, I'm going to turn myself in. Did
she go to prison?
5 years.
Dang. That's worth it.
Yeah.
People say crime doesn't pay in this circumstance.
But she had to repay the money.
Oh, well.
Well,
they can't take money you don't have.
But not all at once. She's working for... What is it? Retribution?
Restitution.
Restitution.
I would, in my lifetime, I will never have however many $1 million. If I get to $8 million in my lifetime,
you'll be happy.
Lifetime career earning. I was looking it up the other day. I have not earned very much money in my life. It's a substantial number if you look at it as just a number. But this is from the time I turned 15 to today.
Oh yeah.
And I've earned $260,000 in my entire life.
If you really want to poop yourself and clench and feel bad about it, times that by how many years you plan on working, and then look at how much money and how quickly you lose wealth when you buy stupid stuff. If you're only going to ever make in your lifetime $750,000 and then you spend $5,000 of it on a camera, it's
yep.
It's a lot of money, actually. That's why you just need to make more, is the big thing.
Swanky said, I've held $1.6 million for about 3 minutes. I will never see that much money ever again.
Was it heavy?
Why were you holding that much money?
It was probably something to do with something.
Was it a check or was it cash?
I've held value in that easily because some of the stuff we work with is stupid amounts of money.
Those $86 O-rings.
Don't even get me started on the stupid O-rings.
How much is one of the helmets?
Over $100,000. When they first came out, they come down in price to $50 now. But so I was somewhere, and I was
in location redacted, and I was holding on to item redacted.
Right? They were 4-tube NVGs that were meant specifically for aviation purposes. I know there's panoramic ones that are a lot cheaper, but I was playing around with these ones that had certain capabilities. And so I put them on, and I'm sitting there playing around with them, and I was like, how much are these things? And the guy's like, $500,000. And I'm like, you're letting me play with them? Put them down. I'm not breaking those things.
Well, one time, one of the pilots left his sitting on the side of the plane right underneath the
canopy, and he crunched them.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, they drop their helmet all the time and crack it, and we got to make them a new one. And
that...
Can you imagine? Yeah. I'd be like,
What's the most expensive thing I have ever interacted with?
What's the most expensive thing you've ever broken?
Because
Mike D crashed that drone.
Yeah, I mean that probably sum totals about $15,000 between the camera and the drone that they had flying it. I melted down one of those tills. Do you remember at PJ's? I accidentally dumped an entire cup of root beer into it.
I remember that.
Okay, so imagine
yeah, man, it had the plastic keyboard protector, right? But you lifted it up and it was just dripping.
What? Well, no. So it's not sealed or anything. So if you imagine for you guys, those we've got this thing right here.
Yeah.
I have a root beer sitting off to the side of it, right?
Yep.
I pick it up. I go to take a drink. No, it must have been on the other side. For some reason, I had it on the other side. So the way the cash register is set up, I have to turn to my right to look outside, right? Mm-hmm. I'm holding my root beer. I just picked it up and somebody hit the gas button, or hit the gas pump, so I need to approve it, right? I turn to look to see, and I turn with my body. The bottom of the cup hits the edge of the till and flips upside down and directly dumps 30 ounces of root beer directly into the... Like, it literally, there was nothing I could do. If I had instant speed reflex, I wouldn't have been able to do anything about it. There's 30 ounces of root beer inside of this cash register, which immediately dies. I was like, no. So I pick it up pointlessly and just go, boo.
Did you sound like Vader? Roll.
There's just root beer pouring out of this. And so here's the thing. We had 2 registers. There's a master register, and then there's a secondary register. Of course, this is the master register. So even though the other register was perfectly fine, I couldn't do anything because that register is how you set all the POS.
Yeah.
All the stuff ran through this. It used what's called the Ruby system, and that was what was hosting all the stuff. So the other one just talks to that register to do all of its things.
Yep.
That register's dead. Nothing's happening.
Yep.
So it's like 2:30 in the morning. I have to call my boss. And be like,
no.
I accidentally dumped an entire cup of root beer into the cash register. And he's like, what? And I'm trying to explain to him, and he's like,
what?
He's like, ugh. And he just hangs up. I'm like, I'm so fired. And then, like, 20 minutes later, he calls me back. He's like, did you call the owners yet? And I was like, no. And he's like, let me take care of it. And seriously, like, 10 minutes after that phone call, the owners of the store show up.
No way.
And I was like, I'm so fired, right? And about 10 minutes after that, my manager shows up, right? And they're looking at it and they're like, and so about 20 minutes after all the people that hold my fate in their hands are there, they're like, go home. And I was like, okay. So I just...
How old were you?
Like 20.
Oh.
So I go home and I was like, I started working there when I was 18. By the time I was 19, I was doing full-time midnights, right? So I'd only been doing this full-time midnight thing for about 7 or 8 months. Oh. And it was a sweet, solid gig. It was Sunday night through Thursday night. I had weekends off. I got paid more because of the midnight differential. Like, I liked my situation. And I was like, I'm so freaking boned. Because it was like a $5,000 register.
Right, yeah, absolutely. And it ran everything.
And it was the one that was in charge of everything. So, like, by 8 or 9 o'clock, they had something set up so they could start working again. But, like, all of the business they lost for about 6 hours, plus the cost of this machine, plus the cost of having some Ruby tech come out and do it.
Well, and I just remember, too, didn't that machine have, like, 10 or Ethernet ports in the back? And there was, like, one that went to the credit card thing, one that went to, like... the other till that fed that.
So there's 2 parts to it. There's the cash drawer.
Yep.
And then there was like the register itself. And the back of the register was just like Land City.
Yeah, Land City. Yep.
And like whatever all that connected to, none of it worked. Crazy. Like you couldn't do anything. That's how you set the gas prices. Like literally everything ran off of that thing. Man. Which is nice and efficient unless you dump a whole cup of root beer into it.
Unbelievable.
Getting back real quick, so Swanky said his platoon is responsible for the $160 billion we sent to Iraq in October of 2003.
Oh, actual cash.
We had to see it off the plane, put it in the armored cars, and deliver it to the vault in the palace.
Wow.
That's pretty wild.
That is wild.
Dang.
That's an experience.
That's a beer telling story right there. You
so that's way better than the story I just told.
Yeah, right.
For the last 7 minutes.
Swank, we'll have a beer sometime. I want to hear more about that. That's crazy.
But yeah, so I'm trying to think. Well, I've held like a $25,000 camera.
Yeah.
Or I've operated a $25,000 camera. Like I played with $10,000 lenses.
So imagine this. Okay, well, let's just amp this up for pretty fun. Chris, news. You work there.
Yes.
What's the equivalent thing but be more detrimental that you could rip beer at the news station that would get you fired instantaneously?
Well, we have our network room.
So like, what if?
So like, if I was like, so here's the thing: it's a suspended floor because they have all the cables running underneath it.
Yep.
There's a 50-50 shot at any given time that there's going to be a panel missing out of the floor because somebody's working on something. Yeah. Right. So if you just casually walked in there with an open drink and weren't paying attention, you could easily take out a whole rack of servers.
Oh man.
Maybe the master control board, maybe, because like I don't know necessarily if the board, because I think either of the director boards could take over for it, maybe, but I'm not sure how the redundancy works in it. They have stuff built in to prevent idiots from taking the news off the air.
Crazy though, right?
But yeah, there's
You're
definitely
dual wielding root beer. You spot both master control.
Well, the master control board is like 18 feet long.
Right.
It's huge. There's like 30 TVs. Like you literally are looking at every channel and every digital offshoot channel for the thing, and you have controls for every single one because you're running all the feeds. You know, so it's like it literally looks like you're in what's that Tom Cruise movie where you predict the future?
Minority
Report. So it's like literally like that. There's just screens everywhere, and you have the buttons to literally take anything offline you want to,
Right?
Or to preempt anything. It's insane. Like that might be the most. I have no idea how much something like that costs. That could be $1 million. I have no idea.
Right. But before we get off air, there's a comment to read, and then Kara, what expensive thing you've broken or held, or did you ever drop chili at Wendy's, or?
Yeah, 99-cent cup of chili.
I haven't really broken anything expensive.
Okay, I know you can't say, but you maybe worked on like somebody's teeth who was really expensive. Those are valuable teeth.
A couple people.
How much does a brand new tooth cost?
If you did like an implant, it's probably around $4,000 to $5,000.
Okay, well. So
how easy
4,000 times 32. Just kidding.
How easy would it be for you to like hook a tooth and pop it out? Like you couldn't
impossible.
You couldn't like slip your tool up there and just accidentally pop it out.
I've had a bunch of teeth removed while not unconscious. They have to work on it.
Yeah, they do. The only time I have had some patients come in with really deep pockets, and as I'm scaling the tooth is literally like bobbing up and down in their gums. And those ones I kind of hold as I'm cleaning around.
You got a little tiny jack, and you put it between like, and it just holds it up.
I don't know why they keep these teeth. It's like just pull it out and do a bridge or something.
Speaking of non sequiturs, so Swanky said he put a picture of the money on the Discord. If you're interested, there is
Kara's
a link.
weekly login.
There's a link in the description to join our Discord. Kara and Jeremy are on there basically never, but I'm on there occasionally, and I make a bunch of promises to Swanky to give him assets that I never do.
Yeah, right.
But go ahead and check out our Discord, and we might talk to you on there. Worst case scenario, cool. You can check out the cool tweet bot that we have that sends out Star Wars news.
Oh, that's
Wait,
sweet.
What's this thing that Brad posted? Okay, is this Kara Star Wars Vision special?
That was the thing they were talking about last week that you didn't.
Oh, but she couldn't get in last week because it booted her out of that raid.
Right.
I know, that's why the end of the
red.
That's why the end of the podcast was so awkward last week.
Yeah, no
Hold
kidding.
on.
Well, Kara made up for it by catching that shiny Dialga. So
I did catch
I was
a shiny
reading
Dialga.
today, and somebody.
Wait, where did you post it,
Chris.
Swanky?
it's probably in general tangents.
Somebody did 250 raids and still has not caught a shiny Dialga. Just saying.
Dang.
So it's like pretty dang crazy. But
I'm 1 for 1 on Dialga raids.
Wait, is that a picture of you, Swanky?
dang, and that's the money, and that's my. That is, dude, that's sweet. Thanks for posting that.
Dang, look
If you
at
want to
that.
see it, you got to join our Discord.
That's so cool.
Dang, I can't imagine holding that kind of cash. Cold hard cash.
Jeez, that's a cool picture.
I guess so. Let's see here. What else haven't we shown people? You can email us at this thing. Contact at Rise of the Podcast. We'll
There's
tell your
also
story.
that throw out a couple topics before
Yeah.
Chris closes out.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we want to do the thing. So, as we're doing the closeout, if there's something you want us to talk about, and you are the last person to suggest a topic before I throw up the hold screen at the end, that's what we're going to kick off with next week.
I like it.
We also have a P.O. box if you want to send us a thing for some reason. Go ahead and send it to this address. Again, all of these are in the description down below. Yeah, Cam sent in that super sick glow-in-the-dark Yoda that's pretty dope.
Super dope.
Anyway, so that's an option for you. We'll close that out. I think that's all the things that we have for that. So, thank you guys for joining us. Like this video. It shows to us that you like this type of content. You want to see more content like this in the future. Comment down below if you want to participate in the conversation about the most expensive thing you've ever held or destroyed.
I know. I want to hear more stories about that.
Subscribe if you're not already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time we upload a video or go live. We think it's pretty fun to interact with you guys, and maybe you guys have fun interacting with us. Who knows? But thank you guys so much for watching, and of course,
May the force be with you.
Somebody